This is the dumbest self-improvement advice everyone believes. Now, I've been making self-improvement videos, quote, I don't like the title because everyone here is a bunch of idiots, but, I've been making these videos for a while, and I've been looking at the community. The community always says a lot of stupid stuff. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand that by the end of this video, you'll be informed and not make the same mistakes that everyone else makes. So, first thing, the obsession with discipline. It's the most inefficient way of looking at things. So I want you to imagine someone who's really fat, okay? Really fat dude, okay? Like fat bastard. Then I want you to think about him taking a bunch of diet pills, like a bunch of pills just to burn the fat. You go like, you're an idiot. You're a dummy. Like, why would you do that? Just eat less food. Yet, many people, the same people, will turn around and then focus on discipline in order to achieve their goals. Discipline is like the pill, okay? The real problem at hand, like for example, let's say working out. That's a very good example of people using discipline. If you don't want to work out, the problem is not that you don't have enough discipline to go work out. The problem is that you don't want to in the first place. Why don't you want to? So you're questioning the assumption. Why don't you want to work out? When you figure that out, you'll be able to change it, and then you'll be able to change to, I want to work out. And when you want to do something, you don't have to do this part, because discipline is just doing things that you don't want. Imagine doing things you don't want for your entire life. That sounds like a terrible life. But that's what these people want you to do. Be disciplined. And then when you decide to go do something like go play a video game or whatever, like, oh, well, that's just free time. That's when you're deciding not to be disciplined. This is all retarded. Just what you're trying to do, or what you should do, is go into your mind and configure the settings. I want to work out. I don't want to watch porn, etc. And maybe a bit confused and go like, how do I do that? You just do that by a form of brainwashing. Now, I've talked more about this in other videos, but the very layman's way of putting it is you want to visualize and emotionally charged thoughts that are associated with your higher self. So what that means is, let's say you're like, because this is what they always say, like, I will work out. What are you saying about yourself now? Or I will be the guy that works out. What are you saying about yourself now? You're not the guy that works out. So guess what? You have to use discipline and drag yourself to the gym and get a terrible workout done. Because the guy who wants to do something will always do better. All right? And I forgot to use my slides, but whatever. Good. This doesn't matter. Okay? Bob, Joe, one wants to make art, one doesn't want to make art. Both make art. Who makes better art? The one who wants, obviously. And what you're trying to do is try and change your wants, right? And you want to just, for example, you could do this. Like, I'm the guy that loves working out. And when I go to work out at the gym, I see I see the pump in the mirror. And it's like, wow, that's just so amazing. Emotion. You're charging a thought with emotion. It's like water, and you have fire. It boils. And then that vapor that comes from that boiling will stick to your mind, your subconscious mind. That because emotion and feeling is the language of the subconscious. And when you do that, you have to understand that all your thoughts come from the subconscious. When you do that, you're conditioning your subconscious to want to work out, to see yourself as a guy that works out. And that's when you don't need to use the discipline. That's when you actually make progress. That's what you should be doing. That's a very layman's, simple way of going about it, but that will do great things for you. Now, this is the other question that they can't answer. So, this is a question they can't answer. That's right. What it has to do with epistemic grounding. Now, I know some of you might be like, what the hell is this geek talking about? It's time to become smarter, okay? If you're a dummy, click off the video. But if you're smart, listen to this. Epistemic grounding, you need to think about it like a justification for doing something. So, for example, why is murder wrong? Well, because according to God's nature, this type of thing is wrong, and God's nature is the ultimate arbiter between moral truths, which includes what's morally wrong and what's morally right. That's what you would say, okay? So for self-improvement, what's the justification for self-improvement? Why do self-improvement? The average person would be like, well, it's to, have a better life. Why have a better life? What makes a better life what makes a good life and a bad life? What will make your life better? Because if something's better, then there has to be a standard, right? What's that standard? Now, some of you may be wondering, well, why does this matter? This matters because don't you think you should have a reason for dedicating life to something? If a lot of these people on self-improvement, this is the whole life. This is what they do every day. Oh, I'm about self-improvement. I'm a disciplined guy. But they can't even explain why they do what they do for a living. If you looked at some dude who was hitting himself with a hammer all day, you go like, why are you doing that? He was like, well, I don't know. I just like doing it. You go like, oh, well, you should have a reason for doing things. Shouldn't you have a reason for doing things? But when question gets turned on them, they just answer with some assumption that is unsupported. So what I'm going to tell you is if you're going to self-improve, you have some kind of foundation to say, you know what, the reason why I self-improve is because of this. And if we're going to be logically coherent, which means logically correct, by mathematically coherent, 2 + 2 = 4, it should be rooted in God in some way. Because at the end of the day, the only way to give any type of purpose to anything, to give any type of meaning to anything, true meaning, beyond just what humans think, you need God. And I think a lot of these self-improvement guys, even the ones that believe in God, don't really understand this because they have no training in philosophy or anything that requires a very high level of thinking. Because truthfully, just working out and making some money, that's not hard, okay? When it gets hard is you're trying to combine all these different aspects of philosophy and then you try to run by esoteric stuff, etc. That's when it get a bit difficult. And that's what I'm a master at. So if you want to learn more, join the Discord. There's a free value section, a bunch of stuff on there that's centered on YouTube. Put it up on there. Check out this other video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out this other video.